All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of What I Wish You Knew About Your Wedding. I am really excited to have this whole team here from Lakeside Sahiti Sunsets. They are a small venue out here in Southern California. And let me tell you guys, it is incredible. And it is, to me, one of the best kept secrets as far as wedding venues go. As someone who's been around for 17 years and been to a lot of venues all up and down California, Arizona, Nevada, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't heard of this venue, you want to watch this entire episode to learn about it. Okay, Lakeside Sahiti Sunsets. Here we are. We're going to go around the room. Why don't we start with Joel?
Well, thank you, Scott. What a great introduction there. So we are like you said, a smaller venue. We hold about 175 to 200 guests, we like to say. I built the property almost 20 years ago. Beautiful property, sits right on the lake. Um, we just really enjoy having the guests there. That's one of the main things, is seeing the reaction that guests have when they're there and enjoying themselves is one of the best things that at least that I like to have. You guys might have a little different scenario, but that's one of the things I enjoy the most.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, my name is Michelle, and we've been, gosh, this came a long time ago. So years ago, about over 10 years ago, we thought about having weddings there or doing parties. The kids probably wanted the parties more. Joel and I wanted the weddings more. So eventually we got it going, and it's been amazing. We love having them there. We love having the guests there. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. All the family and friends love it. It's kind of like a destination, like a local destination wedding place. So,
I'm kind of
For now.
My name's Austin. My parents own the venue. It's definitely an experience having a venue. Just every single weekend, the energy that's there, people getting married, it's the best day of their life. So just to be a part of that every week is an absolute blessing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great. So let's go back to like how you said how long ago the property was established, right? As a
Yeah, so I bought this
yeah.
property. It's a unique property. It was for sale for 30 years prior to me buying the
Wow.
property. So it's not the guy owned maybe 30 lots up on the hill. He'd show you this one and then he'd sell you one up on the hill. So we got lucky. We were fortunate enough to get this property. And then I built like almost 20 years ago a 10,000 square foot house. Sits right on the lakefront. Beautiful setup. The sunsets there are unreal. So I mean, you're there all the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
the sunsets, but it's just the layout. You would think we actually designed the property
Right.
for a venue,
That's what I was getting to.
but we
Yeah.
didn't. I mean, there must have been something working, when I was drawing the plans years ago. But I drew the plans. I was 27 years old, drew the plans up, and 2 years later, actually built the house. Took about a year to build it. A lot of work. I'm a home builder by trade, so I pretty much stopped working, took the year off and built this house. And the kids were young. They were what, five, 4 and 6
Yeah.
old. So we had a good time there. It's just a beautiful residence. Then once the kids got grown, it was, it's not, we have a small family, so it's hard to get people there to really enjoy the property. So we would always talk about having weddings. And man, the first one, when everybody came, it was unreal. Just exactly what you'd want people to think when they came there. Like, wow, where are we even
Right.
at? They've never been there before.
Yeah.
There's really no place like it. I've been buying land for a long time, over 30 years, and you cannot buy property like this, no matter where you go. It is unobstructed views of the lake, secluded,
Yeah.
private,
It's insane.
in the end of a cul-de-sac with no neighbors around. I mean, it's just a really nice setup, like perfect for a venue.
Yeah, because the interesting thing about the house that I thought was, so I've done weddings, backyard weddings and weddings at houses and Airbnb weddings and stuff, right? But those places are definitely not built for
You
it.
you feel like you're at a
Yeah, no,
residential.
it's a house. Like
It's a
you're
house.
you're
Yeah.
making it work. Mom and dad are making it work. We're saving money on a venue, whatever it is we're doing. But it's difficult as far as layout and everything, and how do you get to things. But like when I did walk in, first of all, when you walk in through the entrance, through the main foyer, like as soon as that front door opens, you can see all the way outside,
yeah.
and you see that view of the lake, like
Instantly.
instantly as you walk in, like as guests walk in, it's already like, whoa, like where are we? Because it's like you're looking right through the entire house because it's so open. And I like the first time when I came through the front, I was like, "Whoa, what is going on?" Like, I was, like, confused, like, "Wait a minute, like, is it just all open air? Like, what is happening?" And so, I think that's amazing, number 1, because immediately it feels like you're at a venue, just the way the
Absolutely, yeah.
space opens right there. And then the second part is that when I went into the area where the open dancing was gonna be, like, it was already, like, full bar, like, not I'm not talking, like,
A
little
house bar.
tiny
Yeah.
shelf
Makeshift
or
bar.
yeah, or something a desk or something like this or, like, something that was made to work. It's literally an actual full working I mean, you have the sinks, the coolers, the shelving, the everything, the display, and then also you had the dance floor lighting already recessed and disco ball built in. And I remember like thinking like what was this like,
Well, when I
you
built the
know?
house, this room was for that. So this was like our entertainment room, you would call it. So when I built the house, we wanted a commercial feel in a residential. So I didn't want the residential look or feel in the house. That was just something that we wanted building the house.
Yeah,
So we got that commercial feel of it, and it really shows when the wedding comes on because almost every week they ask me, did I build the house for the venue?
right.
Because the way it's laid out.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
actually for it. But that's when I said something must have been working in the design process that we didn't know. And it just came to fruit, 20 years later, 17 years later, and it works out perfect. It works
Yeah.
out really good.
It's beautiful.
You have more to say about it?
No, it's been a dream for us. So it's been really great. We really enjoy it.
Yeah, no. It's a great space. Okay, now let's talk about before we get too far cuz I know this is what people if they've made it this far, this is what they're going to really want to know about. Is so we're looking at around 175 to 200?
200.
Yeah, 200, okay. And that's a lot of people, right?
It's a lot of
Like
people.
some commercial venues cannot just so you know, I know this cuz I do these venues. Some of them cannot handle that many. Like venues that were built for this cannot handle up to 200. Some of them max out at like 150, 125 because they have max occupancy. Like
Yeah,
they're limited.
they're limited.
So you're already at the level of maybe what a commercial venue would be, but tell me this. Let's and just to make it easier on you guys to answer this question, let's pretend someone's using all your in-house like vendors. So you guys kind of know those numbers. And let's say they're maxing out or they're somewhere at that 175 mark. How much can people come in at? Like I'm talking like everything said and done, minus outside costs like dress and suit. Not talking that, but just
We've had some really nice weddings with around 100 people. We like to say 100.
100.
We
Okay.
do 100 package.
Okay.
So on that package, we've had clients come in with a $10,000 budget and literally have a beautiful wedding
And that's insane.
and have a beautiful wedding.
And that's absolutely
And then
insane.
and you can range it any way you want, of course, but for a $10,000 to $12,000 budget, you can have everything, your
And
food,
that
drinks,
floral?
everything.
Would that include the floral?
Well, no, that would include our florals.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Of course,
Your
yeah.
floral.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
all
Yeah.
fully
We
decorated.
have
Yeah.
a full decor
Yeah,
package.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you
That's
guys.
the great thing about our venue is what we come with.
Yeah.
We come with full staff, all the tables, chairs, all the linens, decorations, everything. Yeah,
Candles.
candles, like fully decor, all your decor, ceremony, tables and chairs, reception, everything. And you don't have to get the fresh
And
florals.
not only that, but it's not you have options. I think I've
Yeah.
seen when the space is open for open house type thing,
Mm.
you have it's not just like one
One.
one color, one like
No,
this
there's
is it.
No,
Like
I was just going
Yeah.
to say that this is a
Yeah.
wide variety of options. I mean, from all kinds of different candles, florals, runners, I mean, linens, everything. So,
and, and for
and
that price, don't you even throw in the wedding cake? Like you guys can
absolutely. So,
source a wedding cake?
yep,
Yep.
We've done it
absolutely we do.
before, yeah. We've
Yeah.
done like an all-inclusive package with the food and the cake and the DJ and
It's
all
good.
of
It's good for the guests when they do that because that's the last thing that the clients
Oh
want to
yeah.
do is get caught up in all that stuff. I'm a home builder by trade,
Right.
and I tell clients all the time that's the last thing you want to do is build a wedding. You want
Right.
to have the wedding, not build it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you come to us, you're getting a built wedding as if somebody was spending 30, 40, $50,000 and you can walk into it for
Right.
10 grand.
And,
Yeah.
and and let's make this even more clear for the audience because we're talking there's a ceremony site,
Yeah.
It flips into an open space where you can have yard games or you can have an outside dance floor.
Yep.
So we have the arch, so you can get married, you can have your ceremony, and then that whole area flips. It's separate. It's not inconvenient for the guests. They move into cocktail hour. You guys flip that space into whatever it's gonna be, and the photo booth over there or whatever they're gonna do. So like it's literally to me, it's comparable and just as good as a venue that was designed for it. That's the craziest part
Yeah.
about what you
Absolutely.
guys have
Yeah.
because because you guys have this place, like you said, there must have been something. The seed must have been planted a long time ago
Absolutely. Yeah.
because now you're here and it's like it's literally to me it's like the perfect space and to be able to for a couple to be able to come in and like let's say you're offering almost what a commercial wedding venue would offer. Like,
Or
hey, we can
more.
do an all-inclusive package. We'll get you everything. You don't even have to worry about it. We'll get you the DJ, the catering. You can come and pick some
We
decor.
encourage people to do that because you get a much better setup when you do that. When you have to go out and search out and find your own vendors, it's a lot of work. And if you don't do it all the time, you don't really know.
And then
And
you
you
don't
never
know.
know how it's gonna be.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't
And when
know.
you
The
go to, and the
important
venue
aspect.
has vendors, they use them all the time. They know that way they can guarantee what you're
Right.
going to get.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They can guarantee.
Yeah. And then also you guys have a running list of preferred vendors that you prefer to use to make it easy for people. So there is a couple different options for each category, I think, right? For you guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell clients all the time, I've negotiated these prices with the vendors and we don't add on to those prices. We pass the deals on that the vendors give to us. We give straight to them. So
Right.
it's not like you charge us $1,000 and we charge an extra $1,000. That's not happening. So the price that we get, we give to the clients, and that's how they save money. And young clients, they need that right now because everything is so high and the day goes so fast and you want this beautiful wedding, but at the same time, you don't want to go broke doing it
Oh, yeah. No.
or finance it for 10 years.
I was researching venues the other day and I came across a venue where their minimum spend is 84 grand.
Oh,
84
That's insane.
like that's like if you don't immediately, and I know that wedding is going to be nice. I know it's going to be fancy and all this stuff, I'm sure, but it's to me it's more about paying for the space and the name because this is what I try to emphasize to people is I've done weddings that are easily 200K. Like like easily, like they've spent, you know what I mean?
They built the wedding.
Or celebrity weddings or people
sure.
of affluence, like, people they spend a lot of money on these weddings, but the the results are the same. Like
Yeah.
that's what people don't understand. Like people are going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah. I've never gone to an event personally. I've never gone to an event and been like, "Oh, this is all they could afford." Like, what kind of
No.
what kind of crappy person does that? Like
Yeah.
people are just there for you and whatever it is you're doing. Everyone's on different levels. So, is it nice if you just have the money? Sure. But what I can say of doing so many events over 1,000 weddings or whatever is that the results are the same. If you took those people at the $84,000 wedding and we took those people and we put them at a $12,000 wedding at your venue, it would
You
same
would know.
results.
You would notice the
Absolutely.
difference.
It would be
Yeah.
the same. They would have just as good a time.
Maybe better.
It wouldn't
Maybe
it wouldn't
better.
matter. Maybe
Yeah,
better.
Maybe
Yeah.
better.
Maybe better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
there's also a lot of rules
Yeah.
and they're more strict and those venues you're not as free, which is another thing we should talk about. At your venue, you guys you guys are kind of open, like, you can
Way
work
more.
with people.
Yeah. Way more.
Way more open and accommodating. Yeah.
They have
And
a
then we
lot
have
more freedom with
Yeah.
doing things
When you
different.
have a venue and you have full staff, we have full staff there on every event. That's a big deal. You don't realize that when you're planning the wedding, what staff you do need,
Mhm.
but you need staff.
Oh yeah.
You need staff for all those things. So, no, it's a really nice setup. And when you get it running smooth, I've had clients there with family members from all different trades, all different kind of businesses. Literally almost every week they tell me this place runs like a well-oiled machine. So, I
Mhm.
mean, it just goes good. It really
Yeah.
flows good.
Yeah. So let's get into some. So let's pretend now we're working with a couple and they're already booked. And this goes more into like day of. So the question I would have for you guys is, how many weddings have you executed now?
Close to 100.
Yeah, close
Close
to
to
100.
100.
Yeah.
Close to 100.
That's a lot,
That's a
right?
lot
That's a
of
and in how long?
about
2.5
2.5
years.
years.
2.5
2.5
years.
years.
2.5 years. Okay, so that's a lot of weddings to do
Quite a
in
few,
that
yeah.
amount of time, right? To execute. So you guys definitely have a lot of experience with this. So in those weddings that you've already executed, obviously when you guys first did it, I'm sure there were some bumps and learning curve, and now you guys are at almost 100. You guys are way more experienced and advanced now in everything you guys do and how you do it. What tips and advice do you have, like, if someone's booking at your venue, what tips and advice do you have as far as, like, what have you seen, like, ways people can maximize the day, like, make the best of it? Like, is it showing up early? Is it telling their guests to arrive early? Like, what kind of things can
Yeah.
couples do to really make the most of their day?
I think just being planning and communication and being organized. So just kind of
Prepared.
knowing like the things that they do want to do on their own, or maybe that we're not supplying for them, things that are important. A lot of times they want to bring in their own welcome sign, maybe their own table seating chart, whatever it may be. They bring them in and then they'll bring that to the rehearsal, and then we'll go over everything as to what they're bringing in. And then we're doing all the setup of that. So it helps them and it makes that a lot easier on the day of. So I think just being like communicating with the venue as to what you want, what you're looking for, what you need, and, being organized and just doing a little bit of planning on your own for those things that you
I think
want.
being well prepared. We have some brides that come in literally are so prepared. They lay out these beautiful folders
Yeah.
on a timeline exactly how they want everything, where they've thought it through in their head months prior. And I think those events tend to go
Yeah.
probably a little smoother, where everything they get everything that they want.
Yeah.
And then
And it
sometimes
gives,
if they
yeah.
don't do as much planning, if they're late planners, some people are late planners. They're busy, they work.
And that's fine as long as they're communicating as to what they need, what they want set up, what they're bringing in, and then we can accommodate that. And
Mhm.
it works out. It doesn't matter really if they're telling us 6 months ahead of time or 30 days. As long as they're communicating that and doing the work on their side of what they want to bring in, it's it works out perfect and it helps a lot and it makes
It's
it
pretty
smooth.
with all the
Yeah.
staff, and if you have good vendors, it rolls like a
Yeah.
well-oiled machine. It works good.
Yeah.
It's laid out.
Close.
You get a
Yeah.
good DJ in there and he helps, and you get a good planner,
For
and
sure.
then, everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a really good event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the vendors do matter. It matters who you
Mhm.
hire,
Okay, so vendors are
Yeah,
the
that's
vendors are
key.
That's a
important.
key point.
Yeah.
That's a key point.
absolutely
Yeah.
because and you want vendors that have done weddings, especially like for the DJ. It's
Yeah.
not just the DJ, it's the MC.
Right.
MC is more important than
Mhm.
actual the DJ part of it
So
at some of the weddings.
Because they dictate the pace of your whole party.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah,
They're
no,
directing
definitely.
it, they're guiding it.
Well, and especially let's talk about this. Do you find it at your venue specifically, and in your experiences, do you also find it for day of? Is it do you see a difference between having a day of coordinator and not? Like in your like just in your opinion, does it actually make a difference? Like, do you recommend it, or do you guys not see a difference, or do you not care?
Sometimes
Yeah.
I think it depends on the party.
It depends on the party. It depends on the clients. It
Mhm.
depends, on the bride, what she wants, how busy she is, if she needs that extra help while they're doing the planning. Sometimes they need the help and they're helping them plan on the outside of the things that they want to do that we're not maybe supplying. But I honestly feel like it really doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Really?
If you have one or you don't have one, we have full staff, we have a great DJ,
So
and
you
it
guys,
all
yeah.
works.
So you guys feel like
we
indifferent,
can
like
we can do it all.
We're definitely able to make it work
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
a coordinator.
And
So
not just work in a real professional way.
Yeah.
We're
Because
still on time, following
Yeah.
the timeline.
So it's never over. It's never they're never are because what I don't get to see is the behind the scenes of so the party, the people, the couple, um, they're never over demanding on you guys as far as what they're expecting from you, like
No.
where it messes with the day.
Yeah, no, but if they're wanting like an assistant to run around with them and maybe bring them drinks and do like extra things like that, then maybe they're looking for a day of coordinator,
I see.
But if they're just looking for formalities, all their planning and setup, all of those kind of things like
Mhm.
that, then we're, more than
We've had clients with both ways, Scott. So we have them with planners and without. Sometimes the planners can overcomplicate things and make it to where it's not they're not at our venue all the time. They don't know the best
Makes it
ways to
more
do things.
difficult.
It
Yeah.
could make it more difficult. And so we encourage if they're going to have a planner, we like to meet with the planner ahead of time. So this way they get a feel of the venue and they can know we'll tell them all the insides that we know, help them out. And then at the same time, they can execute their own plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that way works the best.
Yeah, it works.
If some clients will want to have a planner, I mean, it's probably more traditional to have a planner. We're probably over and above and beyond. We can cover it if you don't have
Yeah.
one. So if
Yeah,
you're on a budget,
absolutely.
we can cover
Yeah,
it.
you guys are
And
good.
even if you're not on a budget, we can cover it. It's the same service.
Yeah.
Because we have a planning appointment, we have a pre-day walkthrough on your ceremony, so everything's
Okay.
pretty much in sync with how we're operating.
Yeah, so we're doing a full planning and set up a decor.
So again, this
appointment
is more than like again renting a space and the owners being like, check, you guys can check in at 1 and here's the
Yeah.
code and
That
you
would
know
be,
and
yeah,
then
to
Yeah.
me,
you
when
know,
I
like,
hear
yeah,
those stories, that would be a little crazy to do that. That's
Yeah.
scary because you get a blank space. You're
yeah.
having your guest
But people
help.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do it, but
And they
have,
don't know. And then they don't know.
They
And
They
don't
haven't
know
heard of
what to
Lakeside
expect.
Sahiti
they don't
Sunsets
realize.
yet.
But they don't know what goes into it. We have a full decoration team, we have a parking attendant,
Mhm.
and then full day of staff team during your event. So you're getting taken care of from the moment you arrive, before you arrive, and after you're ready to depart.
Yeah, pretty much just like that.
And then what about let's also talk about um other on the day of like other recommendations you have about other vendors. So then what about catering? Let's just talk about catering. Like how do you guys feel about you guys have a couple caterers that you prefer to use, but then you've obviously had other how
Yeah.
how do you think how do you think having because here's I do want to explain this further for the audience. There's when when people what people I think often don't understand about doing it yourself and getting a venue like yours is it often there's not a kitchen. So there's no the caterer doesn't have access necessarily to a kitchen or facilities when you're doing a do it yourself, even some halls or if you get a small hall or something like that, it doesn't necessarily have a kitchen. So the catering has to come fully prepared with all their own stuff and be able to do it, you know, uh, outside of the space,
Yeah.
right?
Catering is a critical thing for your event, no
Yeah.
matter what. Catering is a critical thing. I like to say that if you're on a budget for the catering and you're going to try to do things on your own, you have to have somebody there to serve the food. You have to have the restaurants or the catering company prepare the food. It needs to come in chafing pans. It needs to be ready to go. Sometimes people get that a little confused, and they
Yeah,
think they can
right.
just cook it at home and bring it in, and then all of a sudden it's just going to serve itself. And that doesn't happen. So I walk them through that catering process all the time. So
Okay.
I do that with them. And another main thing that I see with catering and carts and appetizers and all kinds of different outside vendors that they bring in is those vendors need to be set up prior to guest arrival. Once you have the
Uh,
guest arriving, you don't want carts and stuff coming in like that.
a bunch of
Yeah,
bunch of stuff
a
rolling
bunch of stuff
through
rolling
and
through. So you want to have those vendors set up, whether they're working yet or not. At least all their stuff is in place. This way, when they do start, it's ready to go, and the guests don't see a lot of moving in and out. So that's one thing I'm critical on is to make sure that we do have all those things in place prior to guest arrival.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
And then that makes for a smooth event. And we don't do that for us. We do it for the client because they don't know a lot of times what that's going to look like or
no,
what
they
it's going to
don't.
be. They don't
People
know.
don't like
They don't know.
they hire a caterer and they just, they may just give them the address and then caterer gets there thinking they're going to have a place to cook or heat something up, et cetera, and
Yeah.
they don't necessarily. And
right.
that's most venues that are like for hire, like, it's not like
Yeah.
you necessarily or all the equipment you need may not be there, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
So I have a schedule that we do with the caterers. I go over everything with them. So this way we know what to expect the day when they show up, and then they know what to expect too. So everybody's on the same page, and then that's how you have a smooth event.
That's
how you
good.
do it.
Yeah.
We have a different system. We have a buffet style system and then a plated service system, depending on what the client picks and then how we accommodate to that.
Yeah, we supply the tables, the chafers, the linens,
Right.
all those things. So a caterer can literally walk in, plug in the food, and clean up and walk out, and
Right.
we do it all the rest. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's important that we came up with this structure because when we first started out, we were allowing different things and it wasn't good for the clients. It wasn't good for the venue. And that's why we do things that we do now.
And I would say catering is a key part to the party. That's one of your main things.
Right.
So hiring the right caterer and the right type of food that, sometimes the more expensive you go with catering or the more plated service you do, the people don't always eat it.
That's right.
You'd be surprised at the food that's enjoyed more by the party is often your buffet style catering or your
Yeah.
taco style catering is,
It's
received a lot
popular.
more.
Something simpler than
Simpler.
like a 4-item plate or something, and
Yeah.
that's it. And then that's it.
Don't
Because-
overthink it for sure. Yeah.
And you can definitely overthink the catering for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I can say from doing, you know, again, from a backyard wedding where the family's making the food, all the way to really fancy weddings where it's this really fancy 3-4 course meal. Like I've done those types of weddings, and it's interesting because I prefer buffet style because I can get more food. Like like
Most people think that.
I don't, for instance,
Yeah.
I don't really like fish. So sometimes it'll be 2 proteins, but it'll be like a prime rib or a piece of prime rib, and it'll be
Fish.
salmon
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
and then like 3 carrots and like some arugula, and it's all fancy, right? But it's like, like,
Everybody eats it.
but I would rather just have the buffet and, be able to go back and get more food and get what I like versus,
Yeah.
you know, I get, again, I get that it's nice and all that, but I would agree that depending on the scenario, that the guests often sometimes, buffet is nice because if there's more options, if somebody has an allergy or they can't eat something or they don't care for something, yeah, like I see, I see the kitchen staff often dumping those plates of food, dumping those plates of food. And I know at those higher end venues, those plates could be anywhere from $200 to $500 a plate, like $175, $125, and the guests didn't even eat it.
I'll be honest, I see it all the time. The more money they spend on the catering, the less food they
Yeah.
eat. And that's just almost a fact. It's just that way.
Same with the cake.
Same with
The
the
cake
yeah.
is the exact
Oh, yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
I and I've talked about that in other podcasts, but like cake, I tell people like just get a small personal cake and then get some cheap sheet cakes. Like
To
they
cut
don't
up.
know.
Yeah.
Like they don't, if it's already in the kitchen in the back and the staff cuts up some sheet cakes from Costco, like and it comes
Nobody knows
out,
the
nobody
difference.
knows like
Nobody
that.
The
That's
only-
not
only
like
that knows
an
is that-
expensive wedding
Totally.
cake.
The people actually eat the cake
Yeah.
versus
Just
throw
And
it
most
away.
of it, and most wedding cakes, if they're 3-tier, 5-tier, I know for a fact because I'm always announcing like, hey, there's still leftover cake. There's leftover cake. There's leftover cake. And at the end of the night, the leftover cake goes in the trash.
It
So
does every
Yeah.
time. I
More
tell
often
clients
than
all
Those
the
are
time.
really
Yeah.
expensive cakes.
They
They
are
are so
extremely
expensive.
And Sam's Club honestly has a 2-tier cake that is way more affordable and better.
yeah.
And
Put
better.
some
It tastes
flowers
better.
in it, and they really
Yeah.
nobody knows.
But we
the
do
Nobody knows.
always tell the people, like our clients, how important it is to feed the guests because they're hungry.
Yeah.
And sometimes, that gets missed, but they're hungry. They've been running around all day, maybe with kids.
Oh,
Trying to
and
get
the
to
women
this
get up
wedding.
super early to start getting ready.
Yeah.
So like,
So
most
they
definitely,
they
yeah.
want to eat and the food is important.
It is
So,
important.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as cocktail hour starts, it's important.
Yeah.
They
They need to
Right
have
after the
those
ceremony.
appetizers,
There's
they
no
need to have those
appetizers. It's
drinks.
rough. People will like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking for them.
I've had people come up to me at various weddings, come up to the DJ with like, hey, are there any appetizers come up? Do you know? And I'm like, I don't think so, man. Like, like I ate before I got here because I already know what the deal is. Like I never expect there to be appetizers. So I will always eat right before I get to a venue because setting up is like rigorous. So I know it's gonna be 3-4 hours before food is served.
That's right.
And I don't know what kind of vendor meal I'm getting necessarily.
Yeah.
I've gotten literally like a sack lunch before. No,
A vendor lunch in a sack.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally like it was like
Well, when the
a
plate,
turkey
when the
sandwich
plate
and
is
Swiss.
$150, I see why. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because we can't afford to feed everybody.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was a very fancy meal, 3-course meal, and the vendor meals for everyone, photographers, videographer, everybody, was literally a sack lunch. It was a bag of chips and like a turkey sandwich, like with some Swiss, and it was like, wow. I was like, dang. I was like, I'm glad I ate before I got here. Is there
I've seen
any?
some catering where you wish you had your little snack along.
Yeah.
That's the truth too. Seriously.
Yes. When the chicken's all pink inside, and
Yeah.
I've been there. Yeah, I'll just take this away. Is there any other things like do you find a difference between any issues or with the experience being different as far as like guests arriving too early versus on time, or like does that matter?
Yeah, I mean, we like to have guests arrive at 3 p.m. That's a
Mhm.
good time.
Oh,
And then
at 3 p.m.
at 3 p.m. is when we say the venue doors open.
When your ceremony's
And
at
we
what
have
time
to
though?
say that because if
But
not,
when your ceremony's at what time?
yeah, so doors open at 3 p.m. and then ceremony would be from 3:30, maybe 3:45 to 4
Okay.
or somewhere
Okay.
in there. But
Give everybody time to show
yeah,
up.
it gives them a time to show up.
Bingo.
Otherwise, sometimes you'll have people there so early and you'll have a full house, 2 hours prior to ceremony.
Yeah. So an hour before having
it-
people arrive at your venue an hour before ceremony starts is pretty good.
It's
yeah,
pretty good.
that's totally
But
fine.
on,
It
the
gives-
but on the opposite side of that, you don't want people arriving too late because then you
Yeah.
could empty or you could end up with a ceremony that's not full.
Yeah.
Or people are arriving during your ceremony.
But
So
see,
you
So
this,
you
this is
yeah.
why I think people on their invitation should put like venue doors open, ceremony starts at.
We tell them that every
For
time.
Absolutely,
sure.
So
We
that's
tell
why I
'em.
like to put it that way.
A lot of invitations will just say ceremony starts at, and that's why people show up late
Yeah.
because they're trying to get there right on time,
Absolutely.
but end up 10, 15 minutes late, like walking in. Yeah.
yeah.
And then that will delay their time. And then can you imagine you're paying all this money for delayed time?
Yeah.
Now we're waiting. You're losing.
Yeah,
venue
we did the
time.
numbers
You're
in
losing
the podcast I did with the Stan, the officiant, and he put that in numbers and said, like he said he calculated one time because they were running it was $66 a minute
There
like,
you go.
Oh,
for every
wow.
based on what they had spent on the wedding. Like
And they'll run 45 minutes late and act
Yeah.
like it's nothing, like we're just waiting.
yes,
But
But I
then
feel
that
like-
delays their whole party. So
Yeah.
We
now
had a
everything is
client there.
trickling down.
Everything.
I feel like we give them a good amount of time. They get 7 hours of event time.
if they need it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no matter what.
No matter what,
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, usually they're always going to
Up to
use
7
that.
hours,
So
yeah.
7 hours, they get 3 hours to come prior to get ready. So the brides will show up at noon, and then they'll have those 3 hours plus, depending on what time their ceremony is. And they have a 7 hours event, and then they go. We music off at
Oh.
10, and then they have till 11.
that's nice.
That's a
So
long
let's
time.
talk. Let's just be more detailed, just in case people missed that. So it's
Yeah,
they can arrive at 12.
the
The
bridal
bridal party.
party.
Bridal party. No, but I mean they can
Yeah,
arrive at
yeah.
12.
to get ready.
To
And
use
then
the
the
suites,
venue
yeah.
venue for guests and whoever else opens at 3. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean that's a long.
Yeah, so
that's
they'll
a
get
long
3 hours.
time.
It's a long
and-
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
they get a long time.
They're tired. I hear guests sometimes, clients, they want extra time. They never make it because you're
No.
worn.
No, no.
You're worn out by
7
10
hours.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 hour event.
8:30,
You're worn
9:30.
out.
They've been there since 3.
Yeah.
and
Or
it-
noon.
And yeah,
They've
yeah.
been there since
Yeah,
noon.
since
They're
noon.
tired.
They get up at 5 a.m. and to start getting
Oh,
ready.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, open bar since 4. These people are worn out by the time 10 comes around.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about I want to go back and talk more about how you're saving people money. So, you know, uh I think what also I know from being more inside of the industry is that people don't understand that big box venues and commercial venues, they have a lot of overhead. They have a lot of overhead, right? Like they have
ton
they have
of
staff, they have salespeople, they have in-house day of coordinators, they have kitchen staff, they have all these people, so it's like when you're paying these big prices, part of it is because of the facility or where it's located or the name or whatever. But then part of it is this is a 24-hour business. They're running, they're running ads, they're running this, they're doing marketing, they got a marketing team. Like it's a whole company. Like it's not just like, oh, just a venue. So that's why they have to often they have to charge so much because they're trying to make their overhead.
They got to cover all those salaries. When you're dealing directly with the venue owners, we make a package that we know people need, not necessarily that they want, that they need, because the day goes so fast. If the client is paying for their own wedding, I say this all the time. If you get a young bride, a young couple, and they're paying for their wedding, they can't afford it. If their parents are paying for the wedding, someone else is paying, they love it even more because nobody wants to go spend $40,000 or $50,000 on a
No.
wedding when you can have the same quality of a wedding for 10 or 12 or 15,000.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense to do that. But there's probably been a lot of tradition of things to where those big box places is where they want to go to, not knowing that these smaller venues are even available.
Well, and that's where technology is changing everything, right? Because right now, somebody watching this, they could go to Chat GPT and say, "Show me all the micro wedding venues in Southern California that are this range to this range."
They should find
And
us.
Chat GPT will spit that out, and it's not going to have every location, but it's going to give them a lot of do-it-yourself locations. Because here's the thing, and that's why this episode is so important, is because um like me, I don't pay for advertising. You're not going to see an ad for me on Wedding Wire. You're not going to see an ad for my services on the Knot. I don't pay to play. I don't do that. I don't have to. I'm booked year round doing around 150 weddings a year, right? You guys are the same as me. You're successful, you're booking a ton of weddings, and you are also not like
We're not
dumping
ever.
you're
No.
not in, paying for ads in this wedding magazine and this
No.
and that and doing this and flushing a bunch of money down. Also, what people don't realize is when they book the bigger venues, they're also helping pay for those
For all those things.
marketing all the overhead, all of
Yeah.
it. So for you guys, you guys aren't doing a lot of that either.
No, and we can adjust the price. You know what I mean? Where a lot of those places they can't adjust the price, where we're able to. Let's say you wanted to take something out or you wanted to add something, we can do that easy. Where a lot of those places won't allow it.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah. You guys can negotiate,
Yeah. Tell
depending
us
on
what you want. We're
yeah.
gonna try to make it work.
Tell us, hey, like if it's too much, okay, well, what were you thinking? And then
That's
you
right.
guys will make some
Make some
compromises,
adjustments.
some concessions, and
Yeah, and make
it work.
If we know you're on a budget and we know that you're not going to have this many guests as our our package calls for, we can make those adjustments.
Yeah.
We can make them.
But I do think social media is and ChatGPT and AI and stuff is helping a lot with allowing people to discover how to do things more on their own. Like,
Yeah.
you can ask ChatGPT for the best this, the best that, and it'll find results that may not even exist, like on the major websites. Um, for you guys, where is your venue listed? Like what media do you guys have? Like
We use Instagram pretty much.
Yeah, just
And
Instagram. I
TikTok.
mean, of course, we're on. I mean, you can probably Google us or
You
find us on that, but TikTok and
Advertising is
Instagram,
mainly
Facebook.
Instagram, I'd
Yeah,
say.
Yeah.
Mainly
the only
Instagram.
place we advertise is Instagram.
you guys, so you guys are not Wedding Wire, the Not either, like
No,
any of
none
those
of those.
major
No.
websites, Zola.
No,
No,
and
so
No, and we can book as many weddings as we
no,
want.
yeah, and a lot of times
Literally.
it's referrals. A lot of times we're getting it for referrals.
right. Yeah, from literally from weddings, you guys.
Oh, yeah,
I've been there when
absolutely.
it's like
Like that
at
one girl, she said what
Family members.
no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 family
I mean,
members.
literally at the end of the night, like I've been there and I talked to you guys and like, hey, guess what? One of the guests just booked the venue and booked you too. Like
Yeah.
I'm like,
And then
what?
and then one of their guests is
yeah.
asking to
so
book too.
that's very common.
It's so
Yeah.
I'm like this is crazy. Like how? Like how does this
Yeah.
like how does it happen? And that should speak more to how good your venue is that you're not even doing all that business, all that crazy advertising and spending all that money, and you're still booking all these weddings.
Yeah. It's really the location. It's so
Want me a drink,
gorgeous.
dude?
Yeah, definitely the location is so
No,
gorgeous.
dude, we
and
can
it's
do what we want here.
Yeah, and it's everything we come with, it
Yeah.
matters. Like it makes a difference because we got everything. So we can fully set you up however you would like it. We go through all that and they just drop in their catering, drop in their DJ, officiant, and photographer. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
We make it really easy for them to book,
No.
and if they kind of follow our lead and they are trusting us to do it, they're gonna have a perfect wedding.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And I like that about you guys that you guys don't have to do like a ton of advertising and you guys are still so busy. I mean, that's really good. Now, have you seen let's see if you guys do have any stories. I know we talked about this before we started, but do you have any stories about any kind of disasters, mistakes things that you've seen happen? Like, has anybody like let's go through some stuff that I've seen. I've seen it where um like floral didn't show up. I've seen it like literally like, oh, like or the cake doesn't show up. I've had that.
Oh,
I've had catering show up like late.
we had one just the other week. So one of the clients brought in a 3-tier wedding cake. Beautiful cake. Wedding cake came in, beautiful cake on
It was
pillars.
homemade
It
wedding
was
cake,
homemade,
so
but
it was
you,
homemade
but, yeah, but
3-tier
you,
wedding
but
cake.
you wouldn't know. And it showed up. The wedding cake was very nice. They brought the 3-tier cake,
Yeah.
and the pillars were fine. The cake looked fine. It was in a box supporting it. Everything was good. And a couple hours in the fridge, and the cake just lost its support and turned into mud. Just dropped
Yeah.
the whole cake.
Yeah, I've
Caved
seen
in
that.
on
So
one
yeah,
side,
so I called the client, and they didn't really know what to think. They're like, "Oh my God, we spent all this time making this cake," and so they rushed over. They were able to salvage the very top piece of the
Oh, the
cake
top
because
tier?
the top
Okay.
tier. So
Yeah.
then they went and got a styrofoam piece, did the frosting on that, so did a fake 3-tier, and then went and picked up a sheet cake, and literally the sheet cake went, and that cake didn't really go. The people,
Yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah.
never eat it anyway. So it worked out perfect. So those are the kind of things that could happen. Other than that,
Nothing. Yeah, we've had like a dance floor show up and not pull in like a couple
one
years
time a
ago.
vendor.
The outside dance floor vendor came or wasn't able to.
He just
He
didn't
wasn't
come
able
in.
to deliver or something. What
Yeah.
happened? Right?
Oh yeah, the client ordered an outdoor dance floor.
Okay. So they were gonna have
They hired their own vendor for the outdoor
Okay.
dance floor, and when they never showed.
Oh, they just never
They
came.
never showed.
Yeah.
But one of the family members said they saw them come in and then turn around and leave. So they just
Like
just
they're
didn't
like
show.
Yeah.
they're like must be the wrong place or something.
No, they didn't show. And
But we offer an in-house dance floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we had a 360 photo booth guy show up really late one time, and it was too late. I don't know what he was doing, why he even showed up. But no, other than that, when they hire their own vendors, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
It's better to stick to the script on the vendors. At least get referrals from somebody. You don't want
Right.
to just
Yeah.
hire
Yeah.
somebody you don't know, or you don't want to go on the wedding wire or the knot and just grab one, because we've heard some horror stories on that.
Oh yeah.
too.
So we've had the DJ. There was a DJ that was people were hiring, and then he was hiring out, and then not doing the
Sub
Not telling them.
subbing it
hiring.
out.
So he
not
was
telling them.
subcontracting the work.
And the guys that were coming were really not
Oh,
good.
yeah, it was bad, and it was a big ordeal. That
This happened multiple times or
Yeah, it was
oh.
on the little.
No,
big-
this one particular DJ
Yeah.
was doing that, and
Yeah.
he was taking a lot of deposits knowing that he couldn't do those amount of events, and then bringing in outside
But the
DJs.
client didn't know.
Didn't know. And then when they got there, like, this isn't our DJ, but it was their DJ.
Yeah.
So we
Wow.
really
That's a
encourage,
thing
we
about
really
DJs.
encourage them to do your due diligence on your
Yeah.
vendors.
I mean, I can say just from a DJ perspective is people should be asking like, who is my DJ? Like when you
Yeah.
hire a DJ company, who is my DJ? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and
Who's going to show up?
yeah,
there
who's
that
gonna
day?
show up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if they want to know, like with me, I have two other DJs, and primarily most of the time I'm doing almost all the events. But there are times where I use the other DJs, but I'll let them know like, hey, I'm not available, but I have these people available. So
Yeah, there's nothing worse than a surprise,
yeah.
especially on the day of.
But they also get to talk to their DJ. So they'll do they'll go through all the music and everything. So they'll know in advance like, oh, this is my DJ versus
Yeah, they'll know.
thinking it's somebody and then
Yeah.
just somebody random.
Being able to build a relationship.
Yeah,
with their
somebody
actual
random
DJ.
shows up
Yeah.
and most likely that DJ is just randomly subcontracting people. Like he's literally probably going to Craigslist and says,
Exactly. Yeah.
I got a wedding, $500, like who wants to
Yeah.
I
do
think
it?
we heard that's
And
what he
that's
was
what it
doing,
Yeah,
something like
so
that.
that's what
That's
it
what it
was.
looks
We had a client, and she hired the DJ they had two parties at our house. So they hired the DJ for one of the parties. He came, and they thought they were getting the same DJ for the other party. And then he subbed it out and had a horrible DJ there. She was basically having to MC it herself.
Yeah, the family member took the mic
Mhm.
because he
Yeah.
couldn't talk
He
anymore.
couldn't talk. It was horrible.
So-
And she knew what happened. She knew exactly what happened. We had talked about it. But this guy had been on the Facebook group on the weddings, and everyone was talking about him. He was scamming everybody. And so it just
Oh my
happened
God.
to happened to her. But
Dang.
yeah, so you just never know who you're going to get.
Yeah.
Definitely need referrals on your vendors.
That's
Or a
great.
family member or friend who claims they're a DJ because they've done
Yeah.
a few house parties
Yeah.
and they're not a wedding DJ.
Yeah, that's another
Wedding
thing. Or
DJ is
It
totally
could,
different.
yeah, or it
Yeah.
could be like their best man is also their DJ. You
Yeah.
know, it's
And
just
now he's 13
they don't
shots.
realize like
and
13
you
shots.
guys
Yeah.
are a representative.
13
of-
shots, 4 Modelos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ready to go.
yeah. They don't
And he
realize-
forgot he was at a wedding.
Yeah, and it's so important. Like the MC is so important.
Mhm.
You know,
And that
Yeah.
you guys
dictates,
are.
that
It
dictates
does.
the total
The
pace of
pace.
your party.
Yeah, completely. It gets everybody involved, or it falls flat. You know,
Yeah.
it matters on all those formalities. It makes a difference.
And that's why we recommend you so much.
Absolutely.
I'm going to start forcing him to it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know,
And
I
then
know.
do you guys see a difference with the experience? Because I know you offer the dancing inside, which has all the dance floor lighting built in, or outside with the dance floor. Do you guys have a preference on it? Do you guys like the dance floor better, or do you
Well,
think it
it's-
just depends on the
it's
people?
It's the same for us either way.
Yeah.
What do you feel being there when you're the DJ? Do you think you get a better
You know,
turnout inside?
I think it depends on the people.
on the group.
On the
I think it
group, yeah.
depends on if they're gonna dance, they're gonna dance. To me, that's any wedding, right? Like
Yep.
if they're gonna dance, they're gonna dance. It wouldn't matter if we're on a concrete floor, under a carport, or
Yeah.
like it doesn't.
Doesn't matter.
It's
Yeah.
I personally, from my perspective, from the DJ booth, just my POV is it's if the people are wanting to party like that. Because if they don't want to party like that, you could have the fanciest LED $20,000 lighting
yeah.
and dance floor
And
and
nobody get on it.
24-foot LED screen, and nobody comes out
Yeah.
because they're just not
That's
there
the-
for that.
That's the group. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't think, just from my perspective as a DJ alone, is and I will argue with other DJs about this, like DJs that will kind of like crap on other DJ setups, like, oh, it looks like trash. It's like, if I go to anyone and say,
Bless you.
hey, have you ever been to a wedding? And they go, yeah, and I'll be like, what was the DJ setup like? There's no way they're gonna be like, I don't know, like he had some lights and some speakers. Like they're not gonna be like, oh yeah, he had 2 swarms and he had a
Yeah.
rotating 360, like
No, they don't know.
yeah, intimidators, and he had some lasers. Like nobody recalls that stuff.
No.
And that's because just because your setup or your dance floor or your space is super fancy or extra nice, or you spent a bunch of money on lighting and sound, to me, if people don't want to dance, they're not going to
They're
dance.
not going to dance. They need a good DJ. Good DJ makes them
Absolutely.
dance.
Yeah.
So if you have a
Yeah.
DJ that's not so good, then he
Yeah,
can't get
that's
the people
more
to
important.
dance.
The MC part of the DJ
yeah.
is like just to get them out there,
The-
how you encourage everyone
yeah.
out there.
The ability of the DJs, I think, is more important than the space of where the dancing is going to occur. Because I've had some, I've done some small weddings and literally like just like I said in the backyard, and we're just dancing on the patio and they're going crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's packed. It's like 60 people just going crazy, and it has nothing to do with the lighting
No.
or anything. It's just the people and the music,
And the
and it has nothing to do with how much sound or lighting or the dance floor or what we have.
Sometimes the client, they have their certain type of music that they like, but it's not dancing music,
That
or
sometimes
their
happens.
guests
Yeah.
don't like
That's
that
our
kind of
issue.
music. So we need to not tie the DJ's hands up to where they can feel the music
Yeah.
and play what they need to play.
Yeah,
I think
'cause-
that's a big.
Yeah.
Feel the crowd, see what they want.
And we have both options. So it just depends on the look that they're going for. If they want that.
Yeah, I mean, or they.
I
could
think
do
some of the
both,
best
really.
dancing and the best parties have been on the inside without the dance floor, but then there's been some really good ones on the outside too. But
And the amount of people, the time of year that you're having the party is important too.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. So now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through, not like truly rapid fire, but I'm gonna ask you guys some questions, and then some of it we've already answered, but then this is like just some quick questions, and this is based on uh, the most commonly asked questions of couples to venues, and especially like DIY venues, smaller venues. Okay, so, and we already talked about it. But how much will it really cost? So, are there, on top of what we've already talked about, are there any hidden costs?
no,
Do they have to get their own insurance? Do they have to
Yeah,
They're
so
vendors.
yeah, we do require them to get insurance for their vendors.
For their vendors.
Anybody working on the property, we do require
But the
it.
vendors are
Yeah,
usually
the vendors have
responsible
it. Yeah,
for
the
that.
client doesn't have
vendors
to
know,
get it.
yeah.
Not the couple.
Not the client. No.
So there's no the numbers we threw out, like that would be it. There wouldn't be
No.
anything else, like,
No hidden fees. I hate hidden fees. So I
yeah,
would
a
get
lot of
them
people
into
do
it.
that.
Yeah,
Like
no,
a
we
lot of
just-
DJs will do that. They'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's this." So they'll rope you in with something and like $500 package, which is insane. And then but then it's like, "Oh, but if you want this and oh, you need a microphone, now it's this." Like everything
so
boom,
Visual
boom,
effects.
boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and we add a lot too. We have so many different options. I mean, from outdoor heaters to umbrellas to, I mean, all the
Rehearsals.
things that people need when
Yeah.
they're there, we have it.
And that's what we get complimented on, is that we're like a one-stop shop. We really offer the full service start to finish
Yeah.
for a really competitive price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing the cake cutting. So anytime they're doing that, we set it up for them. And then we
toast.
cut the cake, we plate it, put it out on the appetizer tables. We're setting up champagne toast. Sometimes if they're
Just
bringing
to
that in.
organize all the vendors for clients is a big deal because that's what a planner does. And I mean, I don't know what the going rate is for a planner, but they're not
Depends.
cheap. They're not cheap.
We did in the episode with Trish, we kind of from Three Sparrows, that was another podcast, and we kind of talked about those numbers. And if it's full planning, it can be pretty high. It can be pretty high. Like if they're starting with you from the beginning to the end, the plan
Yeah.
with the and helping in the planning process, meaning they're doing everything. They're reading through all your contracts. They're setting up appointments. They're vetting vendors that they think will fit you. Like they do like that episode with Trish and what she does for the planning is insane. And then she does another thing called wedding management, which is like 3 months out. And then she does just day of coordination. And it's
Trish is another level. She's very good. She's
Yeah.
thorough. She's one of the best planners we've seen at our
Yeah.
venue. She's a very good lady. She knows how to
yeah, she's
do
one
it.
of the best I've seen.
She knows how to do it.
Yeah,
Very thorough.
but it can be very
she's thorough.
expensive.
So
Yeah.
you get what you pay for. When you hire Trish, you're actually getting what you pay
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this. We've kind of already answered this question. Can we have ceremony and reception in the same place to save money?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And you guys set up that ceremony site, and then again, no hidden costs. You have the chairs.
Yeah. So that's what's great about
They don't have
our
to.
place
They
too.
don't have to rent the chairs. You
No.
guys have that.
Well, and they're
Essentially.
separate spaces as well. So you have your ceremony space and then you have all your dinner tables. So we're not having to flip it. We're not
Mhm.
having to.
Another thing, when you rent stuff, you have to understand this is a rental company. When you're renting things, it goes everywhere, and traveling is what destroys the product.
Yep.
The chairs and the tables is traveling. We own all of our own tables and chairs.
Right.
We purchased them brand new. All the stuff stays on our facility. All of our staff maintains it and works it. So the stuff is new. What you see literally is what you get. It's all brand new stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal when you're renting things. You have guests coming sitting on rinky dink chairs and the rinky dink tables.
Yeah. So
And we use the nice big felts on top of the tables to make everything feel good. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's slipping off or you have
Uh-huh.
problems. So if you take a look at our setup, it's high end
yeah.
for the lower end of the price or the medium range price.
So my friend, his daughter's getting married this year, and he reached out to me, but they're in Arizona. But I was in Arizona for 10 years, so and that's where I got started with being a wedding DJ. But he was asking me, can you help us like figure it out? He's like, we're thinking about just doing DIY, like renting tables and I said, dude, you don't like. You think you're saving money, but let me tell you something. You got to rent the tables. But if you're not setting them up, now you got to pay for the labor to set up those chairs
right.
and tables and set them up nicely in the way you want them. Then there's the breakdown and putting them away. Like are you going to hire the labor, or at the end of the night when you're 13 shots in and 10 Modelo's, like, do you really want to be folding up tables and chairs? I don't. And then now you got to think, I got to rent linens. I got to rent charger plates. I got to rent this. Like, and then who's setting when you're DIYing it? Who is setting?
Who's
they
setting
forget
it up?
that.
So-
they
so-
forget about that.
It's like yes, can DIYing save you money? Yes, but if you don't have if you don't really think it through and have the right people and volunteers and family to help out, then it
It costs you
more headaches. There's more headaches because you're like,
Costs
oh,
you.
now
Yes.
you got the tables and chairs for really cheap, but didn't think about the labor costs of who's actually gonna unload the truck and put a carry it because they'll just stack it in front of the venue.
Oh yeah, they just come and
leave
drop it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just gonna drop it and leave
yeah.
if you don't pay them to
And
set
if
it
you
up.
don't have it stacked back up in that same spot, they're going to charge
gonna
you.
charge
and
you.
You got to have all your
That's
guests
correct.
help you do it.
Yeah.
And then can you imagine what kind of tables you're getting when the guests have to help you fold them up and do
Oh
that?
yeah,
So they're
yeah,
worked over.
they're
The tables are worked
and
over.
and if you do just have them drop it and bring it in yourself, you'll often find that there's a screw missing or a leg is janky or
Always,
Yeah.
always.
something like that. So that's also
That's a
important
big deal
for
that
people to know.
need to remember
Yeah.
that because that's a huge deal.
But at your venue, like you said, and there's no flip. It's not. We're going to use the ceremony chairs for meal serve. Everything is
Yeah, we
it's
have 'em for
seamless.
for
It's
both
already set up.
areas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not. You guys aren't flipping chairs and resetting them up. It's just a done deal. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
that's good. Okay. And then we talked about this. People can bring their own vendors, right? You just require that they just have insurance and
Business license.
business license.
And then, yeah, they're more than welcome to bring in their own vendors.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any-
We
anything-
like them to have their own vendors. If they're good vendors, we like them. That
Yeah.
way the client has their people there. We encourage that. If they don't know, then we encourage them.
Have
to
you guys
listen.
ever discouraged people from hiring a certain vendor?
Only that one DJ that we heard that was
Only that one?
scamming people. Yeah.
It's
that
like if
was-
you hear his name, you're like,
Oh,
"Hey,
yeah.
stay
I'll
away
be
from
like,
that
oh
guy."
yeah, be careful.
Yeah, we just
with
said we heard that was, but other than that, we haven't had any really bad vendors show
Yeah.
up to where we
Like
need to-
cancel them or
yeah,
something.
need to warn them.
Like,
No, we haven't.
okay.
No, we haven't had that issue.
Yeah.
And then this is something that I often have to ask when I'm going to a residence. I ask this question because I have to know the electricity for music and lighting and everything that needs to be plugged in. Do they need to rent a generator? Do they need to worry about that? That you guys can handle
We handle it all.
all the power is fine.
All
yeah.
the power is good.
Yeah, I've never had an issue there.
Yeah. So
I've
once
never
we
had an
know
issue.
what vendors are going where, we make sure everything's set up.
Outdoor or indoor dance floor, we're
Yeah.
able to accommodate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've done small residences where it's like it's pulling too much power. Like it's an outdated house. The
Kicks the GFI.
yeah
or-
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like so that it will be
Yeah.
open dancing
We
and
don't
then
have that
boom, like
No.
someone's got to go flip a breaker. I mean, this happens, And then I have a much crazier story. I probably don't have time to get into it, but let's just say it ended up blowing up a telephone pole transformer,
Oh wow.
and the guy at the place ended up having to pay for it. I think they billed him like
That's a
50
lot.
grand or something.
That's a lot of power pulling to blow a transfer.
Yeah, it's
Can you
it's a much longer story, but it was everything was strung together. Like it was like crock pot, like central, like
Wow.
just everything, everything.
We have designated
like,
circuits for everything.
Everything was plugged in. Everything was plugged into like one 4 thing outlet. And I even asked, I said, "Hey, like, are you sure?" Like, and then I started smelling something and I'm like, something's burning. Like, it's fine. And like, no, man,
All your cords are hot. Yeah.
it blew the
Well,
the
I've
power
had,
went
I've
out
had-
like for like a part of the city. Like,
I've had
Oh my God.
I've had a DJ show up with a lot of those fog machines, and some of the fog machines looked a little older. So we did a test run at the beginning because those fog machines will draw a lot of juice.
well, they'll also set off They'll set off. They'll
Sparklers.
set off.
So
they'll set off
we did a
depending on what it
test,
is.
and then it did blow the breaker one time when we had 3 or 4 of those fog machines running. We scaled it back to 3, I think it was, and then we didn't.
And you
have
still
any issues.
accommodated, yeah.
So yeah, if we have too many of those fog machines, those things draw a lot of power.
Cold spark machines,
Yeah.
the
cold
spark.
sparks
That's what
machines,
it
fog
was.
machines, stuff like that pulls a lot of power.
So, but you don't need 4 machines of those. It's
No.
like-
Especially at our venue.
No.
We're able to accommodate with
No.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay, and then, are there restrictions on decorations, candles, like real candles, or anything that people?
Yes.
We're in a high fire area, so we don't like live flames.
No live flames.
No live
No live flames. No fake flowers, rose petals, just because, or confetti, anything like that that can blow out into the
We're in a wild preserve area.
natural preserve.
So
Yeah, but just so you know, that's all venues. Don't allow that.
yeah, they don't.
It's a fee. It's a massive.
It's
It's a
just
cleanup fee.
yeah.
Immediately, like instantly, they're not allowed at all the venues I work out. No confetti, no rose petals, because the problem is that cleanup.
Yeah.
It's like
you
rose
can't-
petals are
you-
hard to clean up.
Yeah.
Like
And they
you
don't
can't just
disintegrate. They're
sweep
there for
them.
50
Yeah.
You
years.
can't
yeah.
vacuum them.
Yeah.
Like, so every venue that I work at pretty much has like a no confetti, no rose petal
We have that.
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
The only place they can use rose petals is along the aisle when the bride is walking out, and that's it.
Yeah. So for that, we just like real rose petals.
Yeah.
Just because the wind might blow or whatever it is, and we don't want it to.
Yeah, but at other venues, like inside, for instance, you can't just
Oh,
sprinkle.
even inside.
No, because they end up on the
We
floor.
have, yeah,
Yeah.
we have areas for them to smoke cigars. I mean, we're pretty lenient on whatever they want to do. We
Yeah.
Very accommodating.
Yeah, we
we're
have
very
just,
accommodating.
Yeah.
couple things. And
Even with the rose petals, we allow real rose petals, just not the synthetic ones
Yeah.
that don't.
No, that makes sense because it could blow away, and the lake's right there, and yeah,
Yeah.
there's more risk.
I mean, imagine if we had that every week,
Mhm.
and then it's just out there stuck in all the bushes and all of that. It would just look like a
Yeah.
mess.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Now, this is a good one. Now, do they have to use commercial catering, or could they bring their own food? Like if they wanted to make it and
That's a-
bring it?
That's a good question. Yeah.
At the beginning, I would say right now, if they don't have a licensed catering company, I would say no,
No.
just because it's not necessarily just because we don't like it. It's not good for them. It's not good for the client. It just doesn't go smooth.
Yeah.
It just does.
It makes a bad experience.
Well, it actually dumps all of that on the venue and the staff. And when we're trying to do a lot of other tasks, and then now all of a sudden we're caterers and we're having to make sure things are hot before they go in the chafers, they just dump it on us, not knowing that that's going to happen, but that's just how
And
it
a lot of
happens.
times the guests won't know that, and it looks bad on the venue
Yeah, it
too when
just-
you have it like
No,
this,
right.
and then they don't know. They think that maybe we supplied this food,
Yeah.
and we didn't supply. the
Yeah,
food.
so it just makes for a bad experience for the
Bad
guests,
experience.
for you
It
guys.
could. It
Yeah, it
could.
makes you guys
Yeah.
look bad.
It
And
could
they-
go either way. We've had it in the past where we've allowed them to do it, and it turns out beautiful.
Yeah, but in that whole time, Joel is assisting them with that. He's
Mhm.
back there basically being their caterer, helping them
Helping 'em
switch
do it.
pans out, heat pans up. It's a whole process.
You know,
That's
handling
why
with
he's-
food is you have to know how to do it and keep
Yeah.
it going good to be able to do it. And if they don't, and to expect family members or guests to do it, it's
Yeah.
not right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not
For
right.
attending the party.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
right.
to
So
get
It's
back
burdening those people. They don't get to enjoy the party,
Yeah,
and then the clients and the guests don't get the service that they wanted either. So
Right.
I know catering can get expensive. I would rather take a referred caterer with a more of a budget option and use those caterers versus try to make it myself, because
Mhm.
you're probably not going to save money, but you are going to save on you are going to lose on the quality
Yeah.
and the service because you're not going to have it.
Yeah. The only time that I have personally seen when it works really well with like people bringing their own food is like uh the only thing I can speak to is like if it's something cultural like only they can make. You know what I mean? Like
We allow them to do
Okay,
that.
so yes.
yeah,
They'll
like
do
that
that.
So
that
absolutely.
that makes sense, but like
We do
not
that.
when it not like
Not the
the
full
whole
serve,
thing. No.
not the
Yeah,
whole
so
thing.
not like your catering service, your whole dinner. If you're going to add something, or maybe like a tray in there, or maybe you're going to do your own appetizers.
We
and
let them
use
do their
that
own
over there,
appetizers all the time.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
works well. And
Yeah.
yeah.
But if you're gonna do restaurant drop off, you definitely need to hire some type of server,
Servers.
somebody to maintain.
Yeah.
The
Outsource the
catering.
They ask me
servers.
all the time if they can just bring it, but then we're not the food server. So we can refer them over to some good servers that we've had there in the past, and then they handle it for them.
Yeah, there's companies yeah, absolutely.
Come and do
Yeah.
it.
There's companies that do that
So
for
it just
sure.
depends on like whatever they need. That's another thing going back to communication, just letting us know what they're thinking, what they want to do, and then if we can make it happen.
And it's a good idea for clients when they're thinking about booking a venue to ask all those things. Maybe the venue will do it, maybe they won't. You have to
No,
ask
no,
them.
yeah.
And then I can guide them through these things. I'm a
Yeah.
30-year home builder. I've been building projects my whole life.
Yeah.
A wedding is easy to build. We just
Right.
have to do it.
Yeah,
You have to ask. I can help you.
We talked about the tables and chairs. They don't have to rent. If they book with you, it's included. They don't have to rent anything, right? Like it's
Yeah, we don't allow any outside chairs.
Yeah,
or
that's
tables,
all
so
that's all
included.
covered. Okay. And then can they bring their own alcohol?
No. We let them bring in their own specialties. So let's say the wedding party wants to have a certain type of alcohol or whatever the drink might be. We'll let them bring those bottles, and then they can instruct the bartenders on how they want those served. Not a problem at all. But to have the clients bring in all of the alcohol, no, it doesn't work good that way.
But not in the sense of like, but I mean if they bring it, you guys can serve it.
Absolutely.
They could bring
They
whatever.
can bring whatever.
Oh,
they
As
okay.
long
serve.
as it's served by
Yeah.
the bartenders.
As long as
Yeah,
it's served.
yeah, we don't let the clients
No,
serve
no.
their, yeah.
Yeah, no. We're
If
not
they
talking about
want,
like
yeah,
serve
if
their
they,
own or bring in a cooler or something like that, but like we're just talking about like
Has to be put behind the bar.
they
Has to
still
be
have
put
to,
behind the
they
bar.
still would have to purchase one of our packages, but
I
then
see.
they're welcome to bring in
Got
anything
it.
extra that they want to
Additional.
bring.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
we do that all the time.
Yeah. Okay. And then uh I think we already covered this, but the couple, do they need it? They don't need their own event insurance. They're good.
No, we cover that.
You
for them.
guys cover that
We
too.
cover that part.
Okay. Awesome.
We
Those
just,
are
we just can't cover their vendor insurances.
right. No. Yeah, no. Every vendor, I mean, I'm a vendor and every vendor should
Have their own.
have their own insurance, whether it's year round and they're always covered. That's what I am. I'm always covered no matter where I am. But I can provide certificates for individual events, and I do that sometimes. But any vendor should, I
guess in
mean,
general,
any
Yeah, I
legit
mean-
vendor,
And if they don't, should be
Yeah.
a little bit of a red flag when hiring them,
right?
because then they're not
Yeah,
fluently doing that all the
Yeah.
time.
I mean, and
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
do the day of, but I mean, ultimately, if they're a vendor, they should
yeah.
have.
Well, if you're doing a lot of events, you're gonna probably have year round coverage,
Yeah.
and then but if you're like a once in a while type person, like
You can do a day of.
yeah, if you're doing catering and you're only doing 3 gigs a month or something, or once a month, then
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to
We
pay
see
year
day
round.
of policies a lot.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do see them.
Yeah,
Quite a bit, yeah.
Probably half
day
the
of
time.
policies can be pretty cheap.
Yeah.
and this is a normal topic. If you're a vendor, you're used to having your own insurance when you show up
Yeah.
at a venue. This
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
something that's standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into we're getting close to the end here. So, do you guys have anything else you guys want to talk about the venue or the why or anything about, you guys want to share about what you do and why you're passionate about
Yeah,
it or
guys,
anything?
Kenan, what do? You're the bartender. You get to see a lot of guests every week. What do you
She's
think?
more than the bartender.
Yeah, no, I set up and do all the decor with my mom, but bartend all of them. So yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a trip. 'Cause I was 4 years old, moving in and then doing all the different stuff like in the backyard, and now we're doing full blown weddings for people
Yeah.
every weekend. But it's a lot of fun
And clean up.
and clean up. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
It's rewarding. Yeah.
I
it
would
is.
say the main thing is we provide the full service. We make this whole journey enjoyable and easy and very accommodating. So when you show up, you have support from the very beginning, from your parking attendant to when you're in your suite getting ready, you have
Mhm.
somebody that's tending to you, your full setup, the bar during the event, all the way down to the last 30 minutes at the bar where we're helping people, and then the cleanup. So it's a very enjoyable experience. We really supply the full service.
Yeah, the cleanup. We didn't talk about that. Like, so cleanup. That's
We do the cleanup. So
You
when,
do the cleanup,
when they're
you
done,
know-
they say thank you very
yeah,
much,
most
and
most venues
they
will
can
not do that.
yeah, they can
Yeah.
mosey.
Yeah.
The
So
last
we do it
song,
all.
They collect their belongings and they bounce.
A lot of and when I say venues, and I'm talking more about like the DIY, but like you have to, like you got to
Yeah,
clean up,
so-
sweep, like, or you're getting a cleaning fee.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we do it all. We do all the cleanup. Even their decor that they bring in, we'll pack it up just like a coordinator would do
Mhm.
Like
if
how
they don't
brought
have
it in.
one. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll do all that.
Way
pack up all
above
their
and
stuff.
beyond. Yeah,
pack up
we
all
help
the
them.
extra
Really
desserts.
full service.
Yeah.
It's more than you can possibly imagine. From the start, from the rehearsal, the receiving of the items that they're personally bringing for their setup.
Yeah.
We unload it. We get their full decor plan. We set it up. We do their full cleanup, and we pack it up for them.
And
There's
we're the
really
ones
no work.
mopping the next day.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, the full service. They have
Yeah.
nothing to worry about. It's really a one-stop shop. If you came in here and you didn't want to hire another vendor, we have the full package for you.
yeah.
What
Absolutely.
is let's talk about 2026. So, um, how many events do you allow a month? Just so people know, like if
I mean, on some
if
of
they're
those-
interested in booking you guys, like
we
like,
try to.
how
keep
quick
it
do they need to get in there?
We try to keep it to one event per week. So
Okay, one a week.
So that way we can dedicate that week to that particular
We
client.
try, and sometimes we do have two in a row. It's very rare, but maybe a few times a year we'll have double
We'll do
backs.
two. We'll do two. a week.
But yeah, so we could go on those busy months, spring and fall. We might be every weekend.
And the reason why is we'll get a beautiful couple in, and they have a specific day that they want, and we will accommodate it. You know what I mean?
If
So
we
Yeah.
can,
we'll
yeah,
do it. We'll
absolutely.
try to
So
accommodate.
so you guys do have a little bit like of exclusivity or limited availability, a little bit, just like a little bit. Like you try to keep it down to one a week,
One a week.
and then what?
Not necessarily for us. That's for them because
Yeah.
when you have more than one weddings, you become a cookie cutter, and then all of a sudden we don't pay attention to all the details, and you want somebody to pay attention to the
Yeah.
details.
There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot, and if we did 2, 3, 4 a week, you wouldn't get that
Yeah.
Real
that extra-
service.
that
you-
real service that what you need.
And I think this year was different for you guys in the previous 2 years in that there was no booking. You didn't take bookings for July and August, or just July, or
Just July.
just July.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
We took
July.
off July. We like to take off 1 month in the
July
summer
is
for
really
ourselves,
hot.
and
July
it's
is
hot.
the hottest month.
That like last year when I was there in July it was 105, I think,
Yeah.
when I was setting up, and I was like,
It's just
It gets a little
Yeah.
hot.
And we really got those ice packs.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah. So July seems to be the hottest month. of
July
the
is the
year, so
hottest, yeah.
we do like to take
So
July.
At
right-
all my venues, because ceremony's always outdoors.
Yeah.
I do want people to understand that. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care what venue you go to. If ceremony's on site, you're not doing it inside. You're doing it outside.
Yeah.
So it is always like all. I have 16 weddings this month in July, and it is hot. Like it's hot setting up, and I just try to set up. I try to wait until the last minute to set up, and then I try to put everything in the shade and keep everything cool.
Well,
And so-
I said this morning I walked out, and
I
July
know,
is
yeah.
hot, but you get the most beautiful skies in July.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
The most
very
beautiful
pretty.
sunset. So there's a give and take.
Yeah.
You get a little heat, but you get the most beautiful
Yeah,
sun
and
too.
every evening is gorgeous. Like it doesn't matter when that
Yeah.
sun starts going down. It's beautiful weather. It's nice.
And
It's
the lake in
enjoyable.
July
Yeah,
is just it's
it's so
stunning. And the way
pretty.
where the sun sets in July, it's
Yeah.
really on point.
It's
Yeah.
on the lake. You get that reflection that's really good for your
Light.
photos.
And where we're at, even if it's 105, I know it gets hot sometimes when you're sitting in the sun, but we have
Yeah.
all those covered patios.
And
And when you have
palms.
the clay tile roof and the stucco
Yeah.
eaves and all the stucco lids, it cools it down. It'll be 30 degrees cooler under
And
the
the
patio.
lake breeze. We get a
Yeah,
breeze
always
off
a
the
nice
lake.
breeze
Yeah.
off the lake. Yeah.
I like the
So-
torches that you guys have at night.
The
Like the
tiki
torches.
torches.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So we always get asked how did we come up with our name? Lakeside
Mhm.
Sahiti Sunsets. So we're lakeside and we have the Sahiti palms.
Uh-huh.
That's where that came
those
from.
big trees are
Yeah, the
that's
palms
name of
are
those
are
palms.
Sahiti
Yeah,
palms,
those
okay.
rock
Beautiful
palms, and then the
sunsets.
sunsets are
Yeah.
so
So
amazing.
Lakeside,
It's
Sahiti.
really second
sunset.
to none on the sunsets,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
this time of year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And then I have always kind of wondered this. Do you guys if let's say someone's having a destination wedding and they're not from California, they're maybe whatever, they're from wherever, it doesn't matter. Do you have recommendations? Like, is there places nearby that you guys like recommend for people
Absolutely. Yeah, we give them a
Yeah.
list of
stay?
Yeah,
Local
just when
lodging.
they
to
inquire.
Oh, local, okay.
Yeah.
Because I've never looked into that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so
We
Yeah.
had a
there's-
client.
yeah.
We had a client book
From Georgia.
sight unseen, flying from Georgia with
Really?
all of her family. Never been.
Never
to
saw
our
it?
venue,
Just-
never saw it.
Never
Only booked
yeah.
online.
What?
Had the most beautiful setup,
Insane.
Yeah.
and they came there and really, really, really enjoyed themselves. They were
Yeah, it
so
was so nice.
surprised.
It was in December, so
Sight
right around
unseen,
Christmas
that's
time.
crazy.
Yeah.
Sight unseen from Georgia.
Every time I hear any venue that books a sight unseen, I'm like, I don't know, that's crazy. Because,
Yeah.
like, it's like when you like rent the hotel room, then you get there and you're like, what the hell? Like, it's like they use the super wide lens to make it look really big or something.
Yeah. So that's another thing we get a lot is, when people come out there, they're
Mhm.
just like, this is way better than what we saw online or any
The
photos.
pictures
Even in the pictures, they don't-
Pictures
yeah.
don't do it justice.
And
They don't
usually it's the
realize-
exact opposite. You get
Yeah.
these pictures of
Yeah.
who knows when,
Yeah.
and it looks all
It looks
perfect. But when you
good.
get there, and it's like, wow,
All-
this was 20 years
All this
ago.
wear and
Yeah.
tear.
And when you show
So-
up here, we get almost every single time, or literally every single
Yeah,
time.
every single
that
time.
The pictures do not do you
No,
justice.
and
It's
it's-
much better in person.
yeah,
So
and they
that's a
don't-
good feeling. When you
Yeah,
get
they
there.
don't realize they just think it might be like a little piece of the lake they can see. They don't realize how much of it you can see and what it's just so gorgeous.
And the space, I'm sure, looks smaller
yeah,
on the photos and does. So when we say 175 to 200 people, we've really accommodated up to 250 people there before.
Wow.
yeah,
And 250 people doesn't feel extra crowded. It's busy, but it can handle that many people.
Yeah.
We just like to
Wow.
keep it a little bit
Yeah,
smaller.
yeah.
Just
No,
for
it's a
Yeah.
parking issues
Right,
and
better
just a lot of the
experience,
things.
yeah,
But the spaces can handle that many people, no problem.
yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 acres. We got a massive space.
No, and just
Yeah.
the size. I mean, there's probably 12 to 15,000 square feet of space
Yeah.
that we're utilizing back there. So there's a lot of space when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are currently booking 2026.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are looking at that. And then how far out can people book your venue? Like how
They're-
far out?
We're
Like
probably getting like some 27s right
but
now.
do you have a limit
so-
on that? Do you guys limit that at all?
No.
No, not really, because they kind of just start coming in when they're supposed to come in. I feel like it's
Usually 1 year. We've had them more than 1 year.
Because
out.
I'm
Well,
booked
yeah,
like
like a year and a
I'm
half.
booked like I think I have one wedding in December of 2027 already. Like one.
Wow.
It's weird,
So
right?
you can
Yeah.
book a year out,
That's
or you can
about-
book
yeah.
2 months out, and you're still going to get pretty much the same. We've had
Yeah, so
weddings where
we've-
they come in and 2-3 months later and have a beautiful wedding.
But you
Yeah.
guys will
It's
allow
nice.
like further out
Yeah,
bookings.
so about a year and a half they can go up to.
Yeah, if it's
or more.
available, we're willing to accommodate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Any other future plans for the venue as far as like anything you guys might change or do in the future? Anything you guys been thinking about?
We have
we
a
have
lot
a
of
we have a couple
ideas.
things that's in the works. Yes,
Yeah.
for the indoor dance floor out to the
Oh, okay.
ceremony area. So we're going to open some things
different
up a little
stuff.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's cool.
we're going to get something done.
Yeah.
All right. So, I think, let's do this just to wrap everything up. Let's go through, all your social media. So wherever people can find you, I always put this at the end of the podcast. So if you guys want to tell me like all, maybe there's something I don't know about, but all your social media, where people can find you, and also what is the best way to contact you? Whoever wants to
Okay.
go over it.
So
for you guys.
yeah, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, Lakeside Sahiti Sunsets.
All one word, Lakeside.
All one word. yeah,
Lakeside Sahiti Sunsets.
yeah.
Okay.
You can contact us through Instagram. That's
Okay.
probably our most
Is it the best? Like
popular.
sending
Yeah,
a
our most-
DM, a message through Instagram?
Yeah, absolutely. That or
Or
call
call.
or text.
We get a lot of
call,
text.
text, email.
Okay. And then if they call, that would be the number what like off of Google or Yelp or where
Yep.
Google?
Yep.
Yep, Google.
Yeah.
You can Google it.
On
You can
Instagram
Instagram.
Instagram
the
bio.
number's there.
Yeah.
Instagram bio has the number too.
Yeah.
You can Google Lakeside Sahiti Sunsets. We come right up.
Okay.
Come right up.
And we respond to all DMs, so
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
we're
good.
easy to contact. We get back to you right
Respond
away.
quickly, within
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah.
If people message you on the TikTok, is it the same thing? Like you guys are pretty good?
You know, I don't get as many messages on TikTok.
But you check them.
But we check them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it alerts us every time
Yeah.
that we get them.
Instagram mainly. I'd say.
Mainly.
Our main source is Instagram
Okay.
because that's where we advertise.
I
too,
mean,
so
for a
that's where they're
business,
coming
people
in.
who use Instagram, you can do a nice business on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
You can
Yeah.
also get a good understanding of what we offer. I mean,
Right.
you see,
Yeah.
weekly
You guys have a lot of
reels
media
our
photos and
events.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Most definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of sunset photos.
Yes. Not my favorite.
Some reels to look at.
Yeah. For
Even
sure.
Scott's page.
Yeah,
Scott's
I have a lot of
posts, he's
videos
there
too,
every
yeah.
month.
Scott
Yes.
Yeah.
sponsors us, basically.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add before we just completely close out here?
Thank you again very
Yes,
much.
Yeah.
Thank
Scott,
you
for
so
No,
much
thank you
for
guys for
having
coming.
us.
the best DJ right
Yeah,
now.
the
So if
best
you're,
DJ.
if you're looking for a
For
DJ,
sure.
Always
Yeah.
having you.
Thank you
100%.
guys. No, this was super fun. I've been excited to have you guys. Because I do think because we're in a downward trend on spending and as you mentioned, people need help. Like they want to have a nice wedding,
Yeah.
but they don't, like they don't have the money. It's harder. Let's just pretend for a second you were going to go out and get a loan. It's harder to get those loans for a personal loan to do something like this. Like it's just not I don't think it's the same way. And it's not like the parents are going through tough times. So the parents can't always help like they used to. Things are changing. And also people are getting smarter in using technology and AI to figure out how to do things on their own.
Yeah.
And so things are just changing. And
They
and
are.
I do think that there's a huge future in micro venues and stuff like this. Um, and I think it's going to continue to be a trend because of the economy and inflation and tariffs and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Everything's getting infinitely more expensive.
Well, just like I said earlier, not only do the clients like the low price, they need it, and even
need
if
it.
and if they're not paying, their parents or whoever is paying loves it even more because
Yeah.
everybody wins.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm planning my daughter's getting married. I'm planning a wedding too, so
Yeah.
no one wants to spend $50,000 or $100,000 on a wedding.
It buys so fast,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So
You're getting the
it's
same
not
thing.
worth it.
Yeah.
And you get the exact same result.
Yeah.
And not only are you getting the same result, but you're getting the result with an unobstructed lake front view.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
just
And
gorgeous.
you can't find that at a lot of commercial venues.
I think one of the things that really is good, like I said earlier, is the full staff. You have to have
Yeah.
full staff. You have to have people who know what they're doing
You have to think
on
about that.
deck.
Yeah.
Because if you don't,
Even like you said, parking attendant.
yeah, they're not. They
Like-
just don't know. We say it all the time. Can you imagine if we didn't have somebody there doing that?
Yeah.
Or can you imagine if people were just left to pull in by themselves, what it would look like?
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, you have to organize things for people to make it go seamless
Yeah.
and smooth, so they can have a nice, memorable time.
Yeah, like I've done stuff like up in like Beverly Hills area, and it's like a nice residence, and they'll pay for valet people,
Yeah.
and they'll come set up a little stand because it's a
They-
neighborhood and there's
yeah.
no like, but they've thought it. They know.
They thought it through.
They thought it
know
through
what
and they pay
do.
for it. But I
Yeah.
mean, like some people just, it's like it's the small things that people don't think
We
about.
can accommodate almost 50 cars in our driveway that leads up to the property, almost 50
Right.
cars there. So we have an attendant that guides everybody to their spot, makes it uniform. So it
Yeah,
looks
but if you
good.
don't have that,
If you don't
Yeah,
have
if
that,
you
it's a
don't have
mess.
that,
it's a
it's
mess.
It'd be a mess.
even if there is space, it can be a mess. 'cause
And the
people
same-
start parking
and the
all
same with the
janky.
Yeah.
It's a mess later. Too.
Yeah.
If you expect your guests to bus and clean up
Blocking
their
each
own
other in.
tables, that's
Yeah.
messy too.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
you have to have staff that are cleaning those tables, keeping the place clean. And I say it all the time, our venue would not look so good and new for every guest if we didn't do that. If
Right.
we had the clients doing it, it just won't be that
Yeah.
way. So when you go to facilities and they let you do the cleanup, you can expect that. That's how it's going to look.
Run down. It
It's
gets.
gonna look
And the
that way.
level of care is just really top tier with us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott. It's
Can't
always
wait
a pleasure.
to
It's
put
always
out
a
this
pleasure.
episode. It'll be coming out soon, as soon as I can get it out. So thank you guys. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right, thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you guys for watching. Please, wherever you're watching this, consider subscribing, leaving a comment, a like, anything like that. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So you can listen to this or you can watch it on Spotify or YouTube. And then all the details for Lakeside Sahiti Sunsets will be in the description. Specifically on YouTube and Spotify, you'll definitely find those details. But again, Lakeside Sahiti Sunsets in Southern California. Check it out.